diagnosed early enough, and some may be dying as a result. A Hampshire man whose daughter went 8 months before being diagnosed travelled to Brussels today to help raise awareness of the problem. In the UK, brain tumours are diagnosed in about 10 children a week, and each year they kill more children than any other disease. About £4.5 million is spent researching the condition, but that's less than 1% of cancer funding. Here's our health correspondent, David Fenton.
The production award goes to Samantha Cashin.
Sam Cashin was a bright and musically talented young girl with much to live for. She was 17 when she died.
She was not boastful about her talents, and she never showed people that she was better than they were. And people said she lit up a room whenever she was in the room. Her smile was quite enigmatic.
Mike Cashin believes his daughter could still be alive today if her brain tumour had been diagnosed sooner. For 8 months, doctors thought she had epilepsy or migraines or even a chocolate allergy.
We're always told catch things early, and yet they left it for a year. It's not really, it doesn't seem moral and it doesn't seem right to me.
Many children, like Sam, are diagnosed late. Brain tumours are rare, and the symptoms, like dizziness, sickness and seizures, can often be mistaken for something else.
The GP probably would not expect to see more than 1 or 2 people appear at their clinics who would actually be diagnosed with a brain tumour. So it's not going to be the first thing that pops into their head when a parent presents with their child who's been sick.
But many cancer specialists, like Paul Grundy, believe we must do better.
What we know, particularly in children, is the earlier we diagnose these tumours, the easier, the safer and the more effective our surgical treatments will be. So it's vitally important that we pick up these tumours as early as we possibly can.
To do that, Mike and others believe that doctors should use a simpler system to spot the danger signs, so that children like Sam can be treated sooner and more lives can be saved. David Fenton, BBC South Today.
A little earlier I spoke to Neil Dickson, who also lost a daughter to a brain tumour. He runs the Samantha Dickson Brain Tumour Trust. It spent nearly £250,000 creating Headsmart to improve the diagnosis of brain cancer in children. I asked him how Headsmart works.
Well, what we did is we identified all the most common symptoms in 3 different age groups: very small children, school children and teenagers. The actual symptoms were. And then what we wanted to do was get it out to all the GPs and the families that might be affected, so that they were aware of the other symptoms. Because the main symptom of a brain tumour is a deep-seated headache, but there are other symptoms, and it's when you can't go and scan everybody with a headache, but obviously when you get one of the other symptoms, then hopefully a warning bell starts going with the GP.
I mean, this is the card here. It's a very, very simple sort of checklist, isn't it? And yes. I noticed it's for under 5s, 5 to 11s and 12 to 18. So there's different sorts of things. Is it as simple as that for parents to look at, and indeed GPs?
Yes, it is. I mean, it's just really, as I said, you know, they'll come in with a headache, and then the GP sees a headache for many different sort of reasons. But when the other symptom is identified, and that's the key to it, matching that other symptom with the headache, that's when the warning bells should start ringing.
Any evidence that this is working already?
Well, we've got 20 centres throughout the UK, clinical centres for childhood brain tumours, and they are now recording the time it takes to diagnose a child from the original symptoms. And the indication is that we've already got below the average 10 weeks. And when we started the campaign, it was 13 weeks. So we're aiming to get it down to 6 weeks over a 2-year period. So there's very good indication that it's going in the right direction, but it's still too long. And
why is it that in other parts of Europe it is more successful to diagnose early? What are they doing that we're not doing?
I think it's probably to do with awareness, understanding about brain tumours. I mean, a lot of people still don't realise that children get brain tumours. Everybody knows they get leukemia, but still, I think you ask 10 people in the street, mainly only 7 or 8 would know that children get brain tumours. So that's a basic fundamental that we've got to address. And it's really getting the GPs to look at these other symptoms other than just the headache.
Neil Dickson, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
To other news now, a bank worker accused of